Hello there. I hope that you can hear me loud and clear. Sometimes my mic gets a little crazy, so I hope that you can hear what I have to say. What I have to say is valuable, so do not listen to this until you are ready to sit down and listen to it all the way through, because what I have to say to you will help you tremendously. So by the time you finish listening to this live stream, I hope that you are already motivated to apply some of the tips that I have to bring to this table. Okay, first of all, follow me at the real Soncerae on Instagram. If you need any life coaching or relationship advice or anything like that, you can email me, contact@soncerae.com. I will be there answering any messages. So, I've been through a lot of personal development, and for a long time, I've been promoting personal development on my YouTube channel, but I've masked it. Masked it. I have put the funny or dramatic stuff first in a video and then put the self-development stuff at the end. And I think I did everyone as well as myself a great disservice by doing that, because I was trying to make something like self-development be something that a lot of people could relate to and want to do, right? But what I noticed is not everybody has that type of self-awareness. Now, I can encourage people to be self-aware, but I can't convince people to be positive and be the type of people that I believe are good people. Everyone has a different perspective. Everyone has a different lesson. Everyone has a different definition of what they believe self-development is or what self-power is. All right. So as time has went on, I have been kind of wondering, how am I going to be the type of woman that I want to be for other women? And I realized that there were certain social media platforms that I couldn't speak about personal development on. And I believe that YouTube was one of those places, because I had created an atmosphere around me that wasn't necessarily about that type of thing. Like for example, this live stream is called Women Need to Make a Self-Development Plan. And I'm going to sit here and I'm going to talk about how to make one. Now, first, what I probably need to do is talk about what a personal development plan is. Now, if you don't know what personal development is, let me just entertain you and give you a definition, because I doubt very seriously that you don't know what personal development is. But it's basically enhancing your life, yourself, not looking for other resources or people or drugs or alcohol or any other vices to help you improve your life or to seemingly look like improvement. You actually going out there and doing it on your own. That's self-improvement. Okay. Now, there's no solid, specific personal development. Each person, like I said a minute ago, has a different thing that they would like to work on in their life. Everyone has a different goal. Everyone has a different personal growth journey. And usually when we're talking about personal development, it's about mind, body, and spirit. So it could be that you want more confidence, or maybe you want a better career, or you want better communication skills, or you want to stop being afraid of stuff, or maybe you want to be more creative, or you want to figure out what type of talent you have, or sharpen your skill, or be stronger at something. Maybe you want to be educated in a specific type of area, or you want to have more emotional intelligence or control, or maybe you want to be able to handle your ego and be able to deal with criticism and rejection, or maybe you have a physical fitness goal or a health goal. But mainly, all of this is about What self-development is mainly about is managing your stress, having some type of preparing yourself for some type of spiritual growth, and changing your limited beliefs, because that's the one thing that stops people from growing. Limited beliefs. Okay? When someone has limited beliefs, a lot of time they don't have mindfulness of the things that's happening around them. So the next thing a person would need to do after changing their limited, in order to change their limited beliefs, they would have to have a level of self-awareness. All right. Self-awareness is so important, because when you start looking at yourself for truly who you are, it makes it easy for you to change those things. But a lot of people only look in the mirror just to change their hair or their makeup or their outfit. They never look in the mirror to deal with what's happening on the inside, because what's happening on the inside of you, sometimes you can't see it on the outside unless you're in tears or you're angry. And it's like you're physically angry. Like you can tell, people can tell that you're angry. That's when personal development needs to come into play, because you're finally looking at yourself, not just from your physical appearance, but maybe you're sad. You start to see that you're crying a lot. You start to see that you're angry a lot. You're frustrated a lot. You're stressed a lot. And when you're stressed, a lot of times you have physical illness. Like stress will bring on physical illness. And a lot of people don't realize that that's the reason why they got high blood pressure or migraines or diabetes. It's not just what you're eating or your lack of exercise, it's the stress that's on top of it. So once you learn how to maneuver around your feelings and the experiences that you're having, it's easy to, get through and get healthier mentally, physically, everything. Your limited beliefs, man. So we all got a lot of goals, right? But a lot of your goals without a plan is just it's just something that you're wishing, right? So you got a lot of people out here, they want to improve something. Everybody has something that they would like to improve. Everybody. So you're not alone if you're sitting around and you're thinking about what type of thing that you want to do or what type of person that you want to be. You're not the only person that's thinking like that. It's a lot of people out there that think like that. So in order for you to improve as a person or personally, you have to have a development plan. Because if you have a clearly defined personal development plan, you will be able to accomplish the goals that you set for yourself a lot faster. A lot of people have goals, like I said, but they never put forth the energy to become or to reach that goal. And without a plan, you won't see the results that you desire. A lot of people, for example, a lot of people will pray and pray and pray and pray and just sit there and just wait, you know, for God to show up for them. But what they're waiting for is a specific answer or a specific thing from God, right? Instead of the tools that God might send or the people that God might send, or, just something small to get you to change one behavior that could snowball into something else and change your entire life. But people ignore it because they want the very thing that they're praying for to just drop into their lap, instead of continuing to have faith, continuing to have hope, but also paying attention to what's being given to them by the universe. There is so much opportunity in this world to become whatever it is that you want to be, because that's kind of like the purpose. Life is a journey. What you're supposed to be doing is participating in that journey. It's not just, I think a lot of people look at it as like day to day. They don't realize that a lot of things just take time. And if you're not prepared for whatever it is that you're trying to become, you're never going to be able to get it anyway. And then if you get it like instantly, let's say you win the lottery. Let's say you want to be a millionaire and you win the lottery. You win $1 million. If you do not understand how to spend that $1 million, or what to spend that $1 million on, or how to make that $1 million more money, you're going to be messed up regardless. You're going to be screwed because you're going to use that money for stuff you shouldn't use it for. You're going to have people in your life that's going to start bumming off you. You giving them money. You haven't found a way to make this $1 million grow. So a lot of times people who have won the lottery, they win the money, and the next thing you know, a year or two later, they're broke all over again. They burn right through it. So it kind of defeated the purpose. You got all this life to live. Let's say you lived on this planet 30 years. Out of 30 years, you spent 1 or 2 years a millionaire because you won a lottery. Think about that. That's a little bit of time compared to the long journey that we have. So you want to think smart. You want to develop tools and have tips and create a plan for your life. Okay. Now, I do want to say that self-development is not something you do once. It's not something that you do for a week. It's not something that you do for a month. It's something that you do forever. I was talking to somebody the other day, and he was saying to me, well, I want to get my ducks in order before I do blah, 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 because I want to work on myself before I get in a relationship with a woman. This is what he was saying. He was just like, I need to work on myself. I got things that I want to work on. I don't want to get involved with a woman until I work on those things. And I was thinking to myself, I don't understand, because self-development is something that you always work on all of the time. Hey, Cupcake. Self-development is something that you work on all the time for the rest of your life. It's not something that you do for a little while. It's not something that you do for a week. It's not something that you do, then stop, or something that you have to do first before you do another thing. It's something that you're consistently doing all day, every day, until you pass away. It's like taking a shower or eating, okay? Cleaning up. These are things that you do every day. Now, you might skip a day of eating, maybe, if you fasting, or you might skip a day of cleaning up because you're tired. But for the most part, there are things that you do every day. That's what self-development is. Something that you do all day, every day. Okay? Now, I don't like to tell people to chase their dreams, because to me, when you're chasing something, it's running from you. I tell people, reach your dreams. Whether your dream is to be happy all the time, whether it's inner peace, whether it's to have a better career or relationships, whatever it is, a self-development plan will help you reach these goals. Okay, so to create a personal development plan, you first got to know what your goals are. You have to plan for how you're going to achieve them, and you have to execute that plan religiously. And a lot of times, let me tell you something. A lot of times, right? People have plans and stuff that they want to do and things that they want to do, and they give up so quickly. And I'm not gonna say to you, don't give up. What I'm gonna say is, this is simple. You can have what you want, and it's simpler than you think. You get to want what you want, but you can't contradict what you want by letting the conditions make you believe that it's never going to happen. You can want what you want, but stop letting your current condition convince you that what you want isn't going to happen. And that's what stops people. That's when people give up, because they'll see a current condition and stop looking down the tunnel at what it is they want. I can tell you specifically myself, having tunnel vision is me looking at all the way at the end of the road, seeing what I want. And I also vision it clearly. Like, when I look at what I want to do, right? When I have goals I want to accomplish, I don't look at the debris that could be in the road, or how I got ran off the road, or could I possibly get run off the road? Because those are fears. Those are distractions from where you're going. But even if I was to get knocked off the road, or there was some debris in the road, I would either take a detour, clean up the road so it could be clear for me in that area, and keep going. That's all setbacks are. A setback is not supposed to have you stop doing something forever. Okay? What you want is happening. Even if it looks like it's only happening gradually, it's happening. You just have to remember that. And a lot of times when we're dealing with everyday life, I'm telling you, I'm having one of those days today. Today is one of them days. Today is one of them days where I promise you, I am having, because I have too much going on, a lot. I've been having, the past 3 days have been bad. We talking about Saturday, Sunday, Monday have been the worst 3 days I've had. But is that stopping me from getting onto YouTube, doing a live stream to talk about something positive, to talk about self-development with only maybe 9 or 10 people listening to me? Is that stopping me? Because I look at other people's live streams who may have been on YouTube longer than me, may have been on YouTube shorter than me, and they have thousands of people, 600 people, you know? And I'm sitting here with under 20 people in a live stream. And you know what it tells me about these 20 people? Now, half of them probably trolls. But the other half saw the title of this live stream and saw that it was coming from me and saw all the success I was having and was like, maybe I should listen to this live stream. Maybe I should hear what she has to say. Because apparently, life must be working out pretty good for Soncerae. Like she was going through it for a moment, but seems to be doing better. Excuse me, that's my car. Okay, so yes, I'm in the car. So what are your personal development goals? Like I said, that's the first thing you got to do, right? I told you it's 3 things to create a personal development plan. There's 3 things you got to do. You got to know what your goals are, have a plan for how you're going to achieve those goals, and then execute those goals. And it's going to be something that's going to try to stop you. Every time it's going to be people, it's going to be situations, it's going to be a lack of income sometimes. It's going to be something that's going to stop you from attaining your goal, but you're going to get it anyway. You know why? Do you remember why? Because you get to want what you want, but you also cannot contradict what you want by looking at the current condition, making you believe that it's not going to happen. Once you realize that it's going to happen regardless, you start not caring when bad stuff happens or when distractions come, because it's going to happen regardless. So you don't really care. All right. So what are your personal goals? And in order to turn those dreams you want into reality, you have to know what those dreams are. And a lot of people don't know who they are. I didn't know who I was. Let me tell you, I didn't know who I was for like, I don't know. I think about a solid 12 years of my life I spent just trying to figure out who I was. I think I knew who I wanted, and I think I knew who I wanted to be, but at the same time, it was like, I'm not completely sure. I'm going to keep changing my mind. Like, for example, let me give you an example. You know the name of my channel, right? The name of my YouTube channel is called Beautiful, Wealthy, Single Mom Life. And I named it that on purpose. Now, when I changed the name, I had changed the name of my channel like 4 other times. Right? And I did a poll on my community tab asking everybody, should I keep my name Beautiful, Wealthy, Single Mom Life on my YouTube channel? And people was like, we hate Beautiful, Wealthy, Single Mom Life. Don't name your channel that. Now, the reason why I named it that is because I wanted to bring more single mothers to my YouTube channel. All right. Because what I noticed is I was creating content for men, and what's happened to the men on YouTube has been disturbing. The Black male community on this platform, what's happening to them is disturbing. And I can no longer participate in the stuff that they're doing. So when my son was born, I also noticed a shift in my YouTube channel where it was beginning to be more women. So I was like, all right, I'm going to attract more women. So I might as well change my channel to something that's more feminine. So now I have Beautiful, Wealthy, Single Mom Life is the name of my channel, right? So when I changed the name, I still wasn't sure. I knew I wanted to create content for women. I knew I was going to start giving people finance tips and, I was going to be more about God and business and wealth and happiness because honestly, throughout my entire life, that's all I've ever focused on. That's all I've ever focused on. Like everything else was kind of like just debris of my life. The things that I've been doing my entire life is working on my entrepreneurship, working on my business, working on my wealth, and my relationship with God. But for some reason, I wasn't posting it on my platforms. I think on my Instagram, I was posting positive stuff. But for the most part, my YouTube videos, they were kind of dramatic, but they would give people relationship advice, not really life advice from a bigger perspective, like this video where I'm telling you what self-development is. Because when you're doing motivational speaking, you have to have a specific audience. You have to know who your audience is. So I was like, all right, I want to change my audience, but I don't want the people that's already on my channel to feel like I don't want to deal with them anymore unless they're male. Because I'm having issues with men. So I'm just going to keep trying to do something for the ladies. But then I started looking at the other content on YouTube that women were doing. And I didn't like it because I was seeing like other content creators that were female and I didn't like the message. I didn't like the hypergamy message. I don't like the divestment message. I don't like the you should date white men, not black men message. I don't like it. But I see majority of the female content creators subscribing to that narrative because that's what brings them the likes and the views, and the subscribers. But for me, I did what other people wanted me to do on my YouTube channel all of these years I've been on it. I always wanted to talk about metaphysics and spirituality. And I said that plenty of times in plenty of videos. I said, I want to do motivational speaking, spirituality, and metaphysics. I don't want to do all of the stuff that I'm doing. I'm doing all of that stuff because that's what you guys want, not because it's what I want. So I was sitting here like on a seesaw. I was sitting here like confused about what to do because I wasn't sure how I was going to do the content I wanted and still make everybody else happy. Then I realized I can't do both. So part of my self-development plan was to figure out what was more important to me, what I felt like I needed to do for everybody else as far as message wise, and listen to what my intuition is telling me because I have something that's more important to tell people. Or did I want to keep myself in this little box on YouTube and just start doing what everybody else is doing on YouTube just so I can get the attention and the likes and the subscribers? I had to figure out which one was more important to me. So it got to a boiling point, of course, when I decided to step off of social media for 5 months and just disappear. And this is when I had time to think about who I genuinely was and who I wanted to be and what I wanted for my kids, what was going to give me peace of mind, and what did I genuinely want to do? What have I always wanted to do? And where am I going to get the courage to do it? Because I feel like I was just being a little bitch. I was being a little punk because I was like, man, if I start preaching all of this motivational, positive stuff, nobody's going to listen to me because people like negative shit all the time. And I'm just going to lose a whole bunch of people. This is what I kept thinking. But then it occurred to me the 5 months that I wasn't on social media that of course I was going to lose a lot of people. Of course, it makes sense because when you decide to improve or you decide to be different, the people that you were connected to at one point, they no longer match you anymore. You're on a whole different energy. You're on a whole different level. So now it's time for you to get another level of people. It's time to refresh. All you hitting is the refresh button. And the people who are supposed to stay in your life will stay in your life regardless because there's a blessing. Sometimes you have people who are blessings, and then sometimes you have people who are just there to teach you a lesson. Sometimes it's people that are just taking up space. They seat fillers. So I was like, I got to let go of the seat fillers. I got to let go of the people who aren't genuinely interested in me to begin with. They just hear off some drama. I have to be comfortable with letting the likes, the views, and the subscribers go so that God or the universe can replace them with a better set of people that actually match who I've been wanting to be my entire life. So when I sit in live streams like this and it's only like a couple of people in there, it's not even 20 people in here, I appreciate those people because I know that the reason why they're listening to the message is because they were sent here. Quality over quantity any day. If you're listening to the sound of my voice, it's because you're supposed to be here. You are the beginning of something new. You are the beginning of a whole new thing for me that's bigger and better than whatever it is I was doing before. And the same thing goes for you. You're in a different place. That's why you're here. You're in a different place than you were a month ago, year ago, yesterday. You know, let me tell you something. It takes a lot to not look at something dramatic and look at something else that's going to help you grow as a person. Because I'm telling you, these distractions on the internet, like Wendy Williams and Method Man's wife getting into it, stuff about Chloe and Haley, um, political stuff that ain't your business, the drama, seeing black men and women argue on YouTube. Those are entertaining things that people like to watch all of the time. But when you're dealing with self-development, you get rid of all of it. That's why when I said that 5 months, I just detached from everything. I wasn't watching none of this shit. I wasn't listening to nobody, do nothing. All I did was sit down, chill with my kids, maybe listen to some music and do my self-care. When you withdraw from all of that, I promise you, all of those distractions, all of the poison, because what you consume on a day-to-day basis, it creates the life that you have. So if you're consuming something negative all day long, if you're consuming gossip and drama all day long, or if your only focus is to consistently, be a part of a community of people all of the time and exchange energies with these people all of the time without you taking time to yourself to heal or to organize those energies and try to figure out what energies you should keep or reject, you're going to be screwed in the head. You're going to be doing stuff and behaving certain ways and saying things, doing things that you never thought you would do and never thought you would participate in. I was saying something the other day in a video that I posted about this content creator on YouTube who was saying something negative about me doing OnlyFans. And I was talking about how I was always put in a position to where I always had to defend myself because of somebody else's half-witted opinion. Because people have so many opinions about what everybody else is doing when they don't know the full scope of a situation. So they speak with little pieces of information and it's so misinformed. But when they speak about other people, they make it seem like it's the gospel truth, right? So a lot of times they're misleading other people. And when people are being misled about who you are as a person, sometimes that can be hard for you not to respond. And for many years, people would consistently talk about me and be completely misinformed, not knowing all of the information. And it would put me in a position to where I felt like I had to defend myself every day. And it got to a point where I was like, I cannot sit here and get on social media every day and sit here and try to defend myself against a whole bunch of strangers. That does not make any sense. That's not helping me. That's not improving me. It's stressing me. How is this beneficial? How is this going to help me, be a better mother or a better wife or a better friend? It wasn't. So I was like, this is not a part of my personal development. This is something I have to stop doing. But so many people put me in a position to where I felt like I had to respond. I had to step out of pocket and respond. Why was I choosing that? And that's when I took my 5 months off, that's why I was sitting down thinking about what will make me, choose that. I wasn't factoring in what was actually important to me. Not what anyone else says should be important to me or what anybody else thinks should be important to me, but what actually means the most to me. That's my question to you. What exactly means the most to you? People have tried to convince you that money and looking nice and popularity and likes and subscribers and all that stuff is the definition of success. But what's really success to you? I had to answer that question. Success to me meant I was influencing somebody's life from the inside out, not pushing products on them that they can change on the outside. I didn't want to sell weave and makeup and all of these clothes and shit and get people to believe, in hypergamy and go out there and get you a wealthy man so you can be taken care of. That's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to teach women, oh girl, he gonna love you anyway, regardless, even if you fat, even if you don't take care of yourself, even if you got a nasty attitude, it's only black men that ain't gonna fuck with you. Go get you a white guy. White guy's gonna love you regardless to who you are. I didn't want to teach women that. I wanted to teach women to improve who they are regardless to what kind of man they had. Stop going out there using men for money. Go out there and get your own money. That's the message I wanted to teach. And I seen everybody else teaching something different. And I was like, am I supposed to be teaching these women this? Am I supposed to be teaching women that part of self-care and development is them leveling up, but leveling up the man that they date, not necessarily who they are as a mother, sister, friend, girlfriend, wife. The other day I posted on Instagram. This is a prime example. Let me give you a prime example. The other day I was on Instagram and I posted on Instagram. I said, ladies, make sure you are the 3 P's to your man. You're his peace, his pleasure, and his paradise. I said, I done rubbed feet, backs, braided hair, washed hair, cooked meals, changed my man's oil. I done it. Okay. Because I'm the type of woman, when I'm in a relationship with a man, I take care of him and I expect that in return. So it's reciprocity there. It's not a one-sided thing. And this girl comes into my comment section and says, I ain't never done that for my man. My man don't want that for me. I was like, oh, is that right? I never do that type of thing for my man. I said, well, good luck, boo. Good luck with keeping him. You know what I mean? Good luck with keeping him. Because, I don't think any person will want to be in a situation where, the person that they with don't want to do, take care of them. She's like, he been with me for years and he ain't asked me for none of that. And I'm going to stick it to myself. Then he must have some chick on the side that he ain't telling you about. Because he is not, ain't no man in the history of man, even women, ain't no man in the history of man or the history of women is going to sit there and be in a relationship with somebody who isn't bringing something to the table. And she was just so proud. My man ain't asking for none of that. Now, I'm not telling women you got to go out here and braid your man hair and wash his hair and rub his feet and rub his back. Whatever it is that he wants you to do for him, whatever his favorite thing is, do it. Be a good woman. You will want that man to do that for you. So here this woman was sitting here bragging about how she don't take care of her man. I said, well, good luck, boo. Good luck with that. I feel sorry for him. I hope he wise up at some point and realize that he deserves better than you. Straight up. Because that's selfishness. Like, for you to be in a relationship with someone and you don't want to do anything for them, you just want them to do for you. That's the message I've been seeing a lot of women push on YouTube. And I don't think that that's fair. I think both people should be, get some type of benefit from being in a relationship with somebody. Definitely. Hold on for a moment. So, okay, yeah. So I'm back. So, so can you guys hear me? I hope you guys can hear me because this is like a decent message and I just want to make sure I'm being heard. So we don't have to conform to the mindset that everybody else has, and we're perfectly capable of deciphering what success means to us and what's more important to us and what an ideal looks like an ideal life looks like to us. You got to know yourself. You got to know that There are different types of categories in life. The wheel of life. Let's talk about the wheel of life. It's 8 categories: physical health, mental health, finances, your career, fulfillment, hobbies, creativity. That's one category. And spirituality and relationships. Write all of those down. Take a piece of paper and write those 8 categories down. Physical health is one. Mental health is another. Finances is another. Career, fulfillment is the 5th. 6th, creativity. Spirituality is the 7th. And 8th is relationships. Write all of those down on a piece of paper. And on a scale of 1 to 10, determine how dissatisfied or satisfied you are in those areas. That's how you start off with a self-development plan. Take those categories, those 8 categories, and figure out which one of those categories, how satisfied or dissatisfied you are. And whichever ones you are dissatisfied with the most are the ones that you need to work on first. You can set goals depending upon what the worst one is. Like, say, for instance, you are dissatisfied. You are between 1 and 10. You are dissatisfied. You are 8 in physical health. On a scale of 1 to 10, you are dissatisfied. You're 8. Now, that's not bad because, like I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being fully satisfied, 1 being dissatisfied, and you are 8. So you good in the physical health department. Let's say you have a career. On a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you with your career? On a scale of 1 to 10. Let's say you are a 3 with that because you're not making enough money. So you can start setting goals with that right there. What are you going to do to try to make some more money? What do you think you could do? Have you gathered some books together? Have you Googled how you could get some side hustles together? Have you followed me on Instagram and seen all of the positive like stuff I posted about your finances and goals? Did you check that stuff out? So what are you doing exactly to fix the things that you are dissatisfied with? That's how you start a self-development plan. That's the first steps, basically. Figuring out what you need to work on the most and then setting goals for that. So if you have a personal goal of you need to fix your physical health, let's say you're not an 8 with your physical health, maybe you a 3. Well, maybe you should exercise 3 days a week. Maybe you should make sure you eat a fruit and a vegetable once a day. Or maybe you can stop eating junk food or sugar or no juice or no soda. Or maybe it's relationships you're dissatisfied with. Maybe you need to learn how to control your temper. Maybe you need, to have some type of emotional intelligence. These are goals. Maybe you need to learn how to be a better communicator. So you want to learn how to be a better communicator. So this is what you do. Go on Google. Better ways to communicate with the person that I love. Put it in a search. That's it. What about spirituality? Maybe you want to be better spiritually. Maybe you want to connect with God more. Well, start telling yourself, you know what? I'm going to pray before I get in bed, or I'm going to pray every morning. Or maybe I'm going to be more forgiving of some people that may have hurt me in the past. Maybe I'm going to let these grudges go. You know? Or maybe I'm going to take in consideration that I also made mistakes as well. What about your mental health? What you doing about your mental health? People forget about mental health. They want to call everybody else crazy. Oh, she crazy? She a narcissist. It's her. She's out here she's just hurting everybody. But they don't look at themselves. Are you practicing mindfulness? Are you looking at what are you paying attention to what you're listening to and watching on YouTube? Because what you consume sometimes is poison. Are you paying attention? What are you putting into your mind every day? Is it bullshit? Is it gossip? Is it negative music? What is it? You have to be selective about that. Let's go back to your career. What if you upset about your career? You don't like your career. Okay. Have you got onto LinkedIn or Career Builder or Monster.com and start looking for a better job? Or have you actually signed up for some type of training? I ain't saying go back to college, but you can go to a little, some type of course. Take a course. People offering courses all day long on Instagram. You can get an Instagram right now and find a decent course that will help you improve yourself as an individual. Just with your job. Are you networking? Shit, you can network on Clubhouse. How many people are on Clubhouse? Get on Clubhouse. There's so many business owners and entrepreneurs on there and people who are doing something positive with their life, who offering all types of gems for free. You just sit there and you just listen to their Clubhouse. I'm not gonna sit here and tell everybody to be an entrepreneur, because entrepreneur is hard work. When you at a job and you working for somebody else and you making that person rich, you only working 40 hours a week. When you're an entrepreneur, it's different. Your shit's like 24/7. Your shit's 24/7. Like, you gotta figure out a way to work while your eyes closed. You only sleep for a couple of hours. And when you first become an entrepreneur, you broke for a little bit of time. You broke. It takes a lot of energy. You have no life. You don't do anything but work and do the bare minimum at home. Take care of your kids. There's no partying. There's no hanging out with your friends, going to kickbacks all the time. No fraternizing on the internet with a whole bunch of people. You don't get to do that because you're an entrepreneur. You ain't got time. You ain't got time. So let's say, for instance, you sick of your social life. Let's say you like your job. You don't want to quit your job. You like your job. Your 9 to 5 is what's up. It's paying you well. You're stable. You feel good. You're happy with it. But what you're not happy with is your social life. You don't have any friends. You don't have nothing that, nobody that you could talk to. What are you doing to change that? What are you doing to change that? Are you actually stepping outside the box and not being so introverted? Going out there meeting people? You can join chats. You can join little social media communities. You can do Big O Live. Go on Big O. Oh my God, it's so easy to make friends on there. So easy. Of all ages. Instagram too. Facebook too. Well, I won't even say Facebook, because sometimes Facebook seems like people you already know. So Big O. Try that. Try that. So decide whether or not you want a personal development plan. And honestly, if you're a woman and you out here in these streets, living life, you might want to live life in a decent way and organize it. You said you like Domo. You don't you don't see what you see on CH. What you saying, Cupcake? You said you like Domo. How are you like Domo? How are you like that? I'm not happy with my spiritual life. I have too much time on my hands to not be involved more into my faith. Let me tell you, I did a poll on my community tab. And on my community tab, I asked, what should I talk about? Like, what would you be more interested in on my YouTube channel? What do you want to see more of? And the one thing that everybody chose was spirituality and self-care. Out of all of the stuff I listed, they said what they wanted to see more of is spirituality and self-care. Oh yeah, on Clubhouse. Let me tell you, in order for you to see the good stuff I see all the time on Clubhouse is kind of like you have to have the friends that I have. I think the reason why I see so much entrepreneurial and business stuff is because that's what I surround myself with. So each entrepreneurs and business owners, we're all about networking. Millionaires, all about networking. We don't really like get online the way that other people get online. Like, a lot of people get online just for entertainment. Like the guy that I'm dating, we was looking at his timeline the other day, and he only uses social media for entertainment. So all you saw down his entire timeline was ass, ass, more ass, fucking sports, and that's it. His entire time, you just scrolling, ass sports, ass sports. That's it. So if you wanted to see more entrepreneurship and business people, you have to get on Clubhouse and select your interests. They ask you what your interests are. If you go look, they ask you in your settings, what are your interests? And if you select business and self-improvement and spirituality, all you're going to see in your timeline is that. Because think about it. Clubhouse, of course, you got to be nominated by somebody you know. That person that nominated you also would be more helpful if they were, what you were more interested in. And like the person that nominated me was a comedian. So when I first got into Clubhouse, and I remember I used to do stand-up. So I know a lot of comedians because of that. So the person that added me into Clubhouse was a comedian that I know for many years. When I first got on it, all I seen was Clubhouse rooms. Comedy rooms. That's all I saw. Because he added me. That was the network. The person that added me was a comedian. But then when I started to tell everybody on Instagram or everybody that I'm close to, hey, I'm on Clubhouse, I started to see more people that, was into business, and following them was good. But yeah, that's why you don't see it, because you have to select it. You have to be around positive people. If Soncerae is the only positive person that you know, that's fine. Because I'll just introduce you to more positive people I know. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. Like, I'll ping you. Like, if you follow me on Clubhouse and I see something positive and I know for a fact that you want to see more positive stuff, when I see someone doing a positive room, I'll just ping you and say, hey, this is a room that you would like to be in. That's what other entrepreneurs do to me. They're like, oh, this is some Soncerae shit. Let me just pour her on here. They be pinging me like shit. Like one time, like everybody who is also an entrepreneur or a close friend of mine knows how much I like Grant Cardone. I love Grant Cardone. Couldn't nobody tell me nothing about no damn Grant Cardone. You know why I like him so much? It's because he does not give a fuck. You hear me? He does not care. If you don't know who Grant Cardone is, he created this book called the 10X Plan, I think. It's called the 10X Plan or something. And I just got the book, but I haven't even opened it, right? It was just shipped to me. But I had been watching Grant Cardone on YouTube for a long time. And he was always talking about 10X in your life. He used to be like 10X this and 10X that. Basically, he's into guerrilla marketing. And if you don't know what guerrilla marketing is basically turning everything up to where everybody everywhere can see what you're doing, regardless of who they are. That's basically what it is. It's like you're pushing it in everybody's face, damn near bullying them into being a part of your organization. But he's a multimillionaire. And it was him who taught me a lot of the things that I learned about money and investments. And I started watching him a couple of years ago. And I didn't start really applying Grant until like last year, which is messed up because I could have been applying it. I just didn't. And that's why I'm telling you, when you have a self-development plan or you have something that you want to be, you have to implement it. You have to execute the plan, or you just gonna have a plan and it's just sitting there. It could be a good ass plan, but you have to execute it, you know? So one of my entrepreneur friends saw that Grant Cardone was on Clubhouse. And she said, oh shit, Soncerae, I know Soncerae loves Grant Cardone. She pinged me. Man, I was so excited in that motherfucker. I was like, thank you. Oh my God, it's Grant. The most important thing that you should have if you want to become somebody is a mentor. Everybody need a mentor. Everybody. And it's people out there that feel like they don't need a mentor. Yes, you do. There needs to be someone somewhere that can help guide you. And for a long time, I didn't have a mentor because I didn't feel like there was anybody that I could relate to because I'm so different. You know, I'm my own person. I'm such an individual. And it's just most of the women I was seeing I didn't like. They weren't my cup of tea. Now, finally, after years of being on YouTube, and like we're just talking about mentors on YouTube, out of the many years of me being on YouTube, I never saw any female that I liked so much that I could relate to so much until I seen Real Talk with Yanni. Yanni is the only content creator out of all of the content creators I have ever watched, ever seen, that are all women, that are all female. She is the only one where her intellect matches mine. So the stuff that she says is the stuff I be thinking. And she actually communicates what I'm thinking better than I would have on YouTube. She's a better content creator. To me, it's like Yanni is a better version of me. And I love that shit. I love it because I never seen no other woman do it. Now, remember, I used to talk about after I stopped doing comedy skits, I started talking about the Black community a lot. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes I made, talking about the Black community a lot, because it was making me depressed. It wasn't necessarily something I should have been doing. I think I should have just stayed, in my happy place. you know, because people on YouTube were kind of like bickering, and I don't want to deal with the bickering and shit. I'm about positivity all day. If it's not about self-improvement, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. So anyway, having a mentor is like really important. And I remember a long time ago, out of all of the people that have ever gave me suggestions about my channel, out of the many years that I've been on YouTube, 8 years, maybe 10 by now, only 2 people said, Soncerae, you should do self-improvement. You should do motivational speaking on your channel. I think one guy said, yo, you should do metaphysics and spirituality on your channel because you're real good at that. Another person was like, you should go ahead and do your content about God. Out of all of the suggestions I have ever gotten, and we're talking about thousands of suggestions in 10 years, and only a handful of people said, you should talk about spirituality because you're really good with spirituality. You're really good with being, motivating people. Because I motivate people all over the phone all day. I email people. I talk to people every day. I've been motivating people every day. Counseling people every day. I've been doing that every day since I was like, I don't know, 25. And don't get me started before that, because before that I was like ministering. So I was doing a whole nother thing. Like in high school, I was ministering. And then when I moved to Atlanta, when I was like 20, 21. And I didn't start modeling until a couple of years after that. But when I got onto social media, I started counseling people like crazy because people was just coming to me asking me for advice. And I've been doing it this entire time. So everybody who has been in my real life has always said, Soncerae, you should be, counselor. You should do life coaching. You should be a motivational speaker. But when I started my YouTube channel because somebody else said to me, Soncerae, you're funny. You great. You do stand up. You should do stand up, and you should get on YouTube and make skits. And they introduced me to Kane Carter. He has a channel called Hot Damn I Rock. And he used to make these funny videos with this other guy named Jerry. And so I just started watching their videos all the time. And I just started making videos that they would make. And people was loving them. So how I ended up on social media doing what I do, or on YouTube doing what I do, was somebody else's idea. So this goes back to what I said about self-development, a self-development plan. You have to realize what you want to do and what's important to you, what your goals are for you, not for everybody else, for you. Because what ends up happening is you'll end up doing something and becoming popular at something that you wasn't even interested in to begin with, and you'll start disliking it. Because that's all that happened to me. Because I was like, I like making videos, but I cannot stand coming into my comment section because, number one, people arguing back and forth about race, gender, all types of stuff that I don't really give a fuck about, but these are topics that they give a fuck about. And I started creating an audience in a genre I wasn't even interested in, because I didn't sit down and take some time to really focus on what was important to me. You can create an audience depending upon what's important to you or what's passionate to you. That's where that comes from. Follow the dream. Whatever the dream is, whatever God has given you, whatever gift God has given you, use it. That's how you become successful. A lot of people don't even realize that. They talented in so many other areas, but working at the grocery store. Some people cook so good, they're supposed to be a chef, but instead of them being a chef, they work at Burger King. You see what I'm saying? No person, listen, don't let anybody tell you you cannot become who you want to be. Because if you couldn't become it, God wouldn't have given you the gift. The gift is what's going to make you money. The gift, the passion is what's going to make you happy. Even if you don't have money and you're doing your passion, you're still happy. You're like at peace with stuff. And that's the one thing that everybody really needs. It ain't the money people want. It ain't really the materials. These people want to feel good and they want peace. And they feel like materials, money, status, followers, sex partners, watches, handbags, shoes, weave, all that stuff is going to make them happy, when really all they're looking for is some peace. When you at peace with everything, life changes. Be at peace. Be at peace. I got to go. I hope this live stream was helpful for you. I really do. I really hope so, because I just stopped in the middle of the day. I was like, you know what? I'm about to do this live stream. And I don't even usually live stream in the middle of the day like this. But I'm going to do it because I feel like, I could reach somebody. Somebody needed to hear it. So I hope it helps. Get up on that self-development plan and remember what I said. And I'm going to say it again before I go. You get to want what you want, but you can't contradict what you want by making your condition believe that what you want will never happen. You have to stop letting your current condition convince you that what you want isn't happening right now, when it is happening. It's in the process of happening. Once you make the decision that you want it, and once you start working on it, it's happening. It's not, oh, it ain't happened yet. Nah, you putting forth the steps and it's happening right then. Do not let current conditions make you think you're not heading in the direction that you want to go. As long as you stay focused on what it is that you want, and you will get there. I promise. Hey, Mark. I love you, Mark. I got to go. Peace out.